Chad, I think Athena might like Bad End Theater. I'm not sure, though. Merry Graymas, Tamari. Chipped in It's Inertia by AJR. Spreading my AJR agenda. Ooh. Do not talk about seeing AJR in person. That goes against my boundaries. That goes against my boundaries because I haven't seen AJR in person. All right? This goes against my boundaries. Hi, chat! Hi, guys! How are we doing today? Merry Graymas! Oh my gosh, wait, I should wear... I'm literally wearing red. It's perfect. Hold on, I'm putting these back on. I forgot to wear these again yesterday. I was gonna wear them for every stream. But I forgot to wear them again yesterday. Today it is. Okay. Hello, Tamari. Hello, Chipton. Hello, Corvid. Hello, Athena. Welcome to, day 3. It's only day 3 of Graymas. The third day of Graymas. On the third day of Graymas, my streamer gave to me. I almost called you my IRL name. What? Okay. Reindeer is so cute. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yes, I am cute. Yeah, turn down game audio. I will. Yes, I. Music. Okay, maybe not music. Settings. Yes. Okay. That's sound effects. Background music. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that should be fine. Okay, are you guys ready? I don't know anything about this game. Literally, I don't know a single thing about this game. Athena and Tamari suggested it, and then Tamari bought it for me. So, we're gonna have a good time, hopefully, guys. Have some bad ends in this theater, or whatever. Alright. Oh, my camera setup is in the way of the text box. Hold on, guys. Tech support time. Yeah, Athena loves bad end theater, I think. Oh my god. Ah! Ignore my messy room. Alright. Good enough. No. I want it to be the slightest bit that direction. Okay, perfect. There we go. Alright. Welcome to Bad End Theater. On this stage, we shall be toying with fate. You will make many choices, unlocking darker and darker paths, all in order to witness a lovely variety of tragic events. Guys, I'm starting to think Athena might like this game. Yeah, me too. That's crazy. But first, allow me to explain how it works. That would be helpful. To begin the tutorial, select whichever doll you like. Okay, so we can be a human or a demon, guys. we can be a human or a demon, apparently. I wonder, I don't know if are there narrative differences between the two? Or is it just like, this is just a thing? I really don't know. Because like I said, I don't know anything about this game except I know there's like branching ends and that kind of thing, and they're all bad. As implied by the game. Okay. I don't know if there's narrative differences between the two, but the human doll or the demon doll. Also, Greg, my brother thinks you're lame for picking Wood Elf in Skyrim and also informed me that they're the slowest race. Whatever, we'll go back. Orpheus Manwood is great the way he is, okay? Guys, Orpheus Manwood is great the way he is. Okay, so we can be a demon doll or a human doll. I think we're gonna go demon. You control the demon doll. You're a fierce-looking guy, just minding your own business. Okay. How will you interact with the human doll? Ooh. Okay, so we can be wicked and attack it, or we can play nice. I might be a demon, but I think that we can be nice. Oh! You try to make friends with the human doll, but it kills you in cold blood. How ruthless. Also, chat, I'm noticing on my screen here that the chat kind of goes over the text box. So we're gonna put you guys up here today. You guys get to be up there today. Gray forgets that humans do not like things that are not human. Yeah, that's... I can't believe it killed me. You found your very first bad ending, but don't worry, the story need not end here. Let's reset the stage and try again. This time, try controlling the other doll. Okay, so I'm the human. Alright, you control the human doll. You're a friendly little guy just minding your own business. I don't think that human was very friendly, but how will you interact with the demon doll? Guys, I want to try to play nice. Again. Yes! Okay, you and the demon doll are able to set aside your differences and become friends. Oh, why, this isn't a bad ending at all. I should have written out this possibility. It's just not suited to my theater whatsoever. Now that you know how the story goes, you can set the doll's behavior in advance. As you just saw, these behaviors will automatically be set to what you choose during your last playthrough. Oh! Wait, okay. So, the demon played nice because me, as the demon before, played nice to the human. So now that I was the human, I played nice to the demon. Or no, the demon played nice back to me. Okay. But now you can turn each one on or off without having to replay from that doll's perspective. Yes, my theater actually doubles as a puzzle game. Oh, great. I love puzzle games. Now try turning the doll's behaviors on and off to see the different outcomes. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna be the demon. Oh, wait, I didn't turn it off. Attack! You killed the human doll in cold blood. How ruthless. Okay. I didn't really do that, but I see. Okay. Okay, so we turned on... So if I'm hostile and the demon's hostile... You control the demon doll, you're a friendly little guy, minding your business. How do you interact with the demon? Okay, so if we attack it, we both attack each other at once and die together. Okay, I see. I see. Alright. I'm understanding, guys. I'm understanding. Do you understand how to play? Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Alright. So this game saves your progress automatically, so just relax and collect all the bad endings at your own pace. Now, without further ado, let's start the show. Alright. You are hero, maiden, an underling. Oh, guys, we gotta be the hero. I like the hero. Dying together is very doomed at the end. I know. What was that doomed yowie happening in my bad end theater? I gotta be the hero. They're calling to me. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Hell yeah. Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You are told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. You're happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. Ooh, a hero, doomed by the narrative. Let's get him. Alright, you head off on your adventures to rescue the maiden, but demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Okay. We're gonna be dutiful. We're gonna bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Alright. Alright, we can cut through the demon army, which is dutiful, or we could ask if they'll let me join, which is diplomatic. I think we'll be dutiful again. You gather your courage. This is what must be done in order to rescue the maiden. These are all evil demons anyway. The world is much safer with them gone. That's what you tell yourself while you kill one after another on your way to the Overlord's chambers. The Overlord appears, demanding to know what the hell you're doing, murdering all her soldiers. You get straight to the point and ask her where the maiden is. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. I just, like, scroll-wheeled an accident. She feigns ignorance, a convincing act, but you won't be fooled. If the maiden isn't here, then what happened to her? You can only see one answer. The Overlord definitely captured her. In fact, it's possible she's already been devoured. Okay, so we're a bit of a dumb hero. I got it. Thinking about that poor maiden's fate fills you with hatred. You fight the Overlord with everything you've got. You've become strong from the hordes of demons you took down before this final battle. The Overlord is almost no match for you. You cut her to pieces. The Overlord has fallen. You breathe a sigh of relief. But your job is not yet finished. You search the castle. Unfortunately, you find no sign of the maiden within its walls. It's just as you suspected. She must have already been devoured. You feel hollow. A great evil has been banished from this world, but what does that matter if you were too weak to save someone? You stand alone amidst the carnage and ponder what it means to be a hero. You return to the Overlord's remains and wrap her head in your cape to bring back to the village. Surely, your great victory will be celebrated. Failed hero and womp womp womp. Okay, let's reset the stage. Okay. Let's play the hero again and do the diplomatic one, alright? Alright, you're the hero, think of us pretty reliable, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah, maiden kidnapped, who puts a village right next to that? Who knows? Alright. Okay, so we're gonna kill them. Alright, we're gonna kill them again, but then next time we get to the choice, we're going to diplomatically hit these guys. Hit them with the diplomacy. You attempt to explain why you've come, but the monster before you is eyeing you with suspicion. They can't help notice the demon blood from earlier you haven't had the chance to wash it off yet. Whoops. You have no choice but to fight the army in self-defense. Oh well, more experience points for you. Okay, so that ended the same since I chose the fighting beforehand. So if I choose flee next time, and then also diplomacy. Although flee might end up something completely else, so who knows. Alright, Overlord, yep. Okay. Yep, alright. Yeah, so that's just the same end. Alright. One more time, hero, guys. We're gonna flee. Alright. Okay, flee like a coward. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life. But you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. After a long trek, you make it to the castle's front gates. You are faced with an army of demons that all look very intimidating. There's no way to sneak past these monsters if you want to reach the Overlord. Ask if they'll let you in. Alright, you go up to the nearest demon and then explain why you've come here. Stare you down, feel very uncomfortable. They seem to trust you, and they escort you directly to the Overlord's chambers. That was easy. The Overlord is alone. You ask about the maiden, but the Overlord doesn't seem to know what you're talking about. Was she really never here? You wonder what could have happened to her. The Overlord says that she wishes she could help you, but you're the first human that's come here in forever, at least that she knows of. You think of how you probably shouldn't trust her, seeing as she's a demon and all. Oh, so we're racist. But you can't really prove she's lying either. You apologize for the intrusion and return home to your village. The maiden was never found. Useless hero end. Oh. I mean, you can't trust her because she's a demon? Like, what? Okay. Let's be the Overlord. The hero's diplomatic right now. Okay. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to the whole Overlord thing if you're being honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is just doing their best to fulfill their roles. You won't let them bait you into being the evil overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. How dare they? They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one comes here. No one ever comes here anyway. You see their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? Well, I said I don't want to be the evil one, so we're gonna grant them the day off. You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the overlord sure is great. You are awakened by one of your underlings. A hero wishes to speak with you. He inquires about a maiden who is rumored to be here, but you've never seen her. Humans don't visit often, or ever, really. As the hero takes his leave, you wonder why he totally trusted you there. Heroes traditionally kill demons. This guy seemed like he was bad at his job, in your opinion. Whatever, you're still feeling sleepy, so you go right back to your nap. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You remember now, you gave this one a day off, and this is how it repays you. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay. Assassinated overlord end. Okay. That's crazy. There's the underling, by the way. We get to play as the underling, too. Let's make the hero dutiful. And let's play again. Alright. Overlord. Yep. Okay. So, we're gonna, grant them a day off again, because the hero should come in and kill us. So it doesn't even matter. Alright. So the hero should be coming in to kill us now. You awake to a huge commotion outside. A hero has shown up and has started totally murdering your soldiers. What the hell, guy? You rush out into the battlefield to confront this jerkwad. You curse at him and very rudely inquire his reasons for doing all this. The hero yells at you, demanding that you return the maiden you're holding captive. You don't know what he's talking about, but you can't forgive his actions. You do battle with the hero, but he has grown strong from cutting down your army. You are unable to defeat him. With decisive swings, he stabs and cuts you to pieces. You fall. You have failed your subjects. You spit curses weakly. You wish you'd been stronger. Maybe you were never suited to be the overlord in the first place. The truth was, you were never that much more powerful than the demons who served you. It was the title, the control, that gave you strength. These are your thoughts as you were swallowed by darkness. Conquered overlord end. We've gotten 4 out of 41 endings. Okay. Alright, making the hero diplomatic again. And we're gonna go tyrant for the overlord this time. So, this underling doesn't get a day off. How dare they even ask for such a thing. Alright. Saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Tell them to get back to work. You give them a lecture about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. Your servants ought to do what they're told, whether they like it or not. They look really unhappy with you, but you're sure they'll thank you for this later. Venturing too far from the castle tends to spell death. You dismiss the underling and lie down in your nice and comfy overlord bed. All that lecturing made you want to take a nap. Fall asleep pretty quick, just another one of your amazing talents as the overlord. Awakened by one of your underlings, they've brought you a hero who inquires about a missing maiden. You tell him you don't know anything, humans never really visit this place. He believes you and goes home, to your surprise. You figured he might try to fight you, but you're glad to get back to your nap instead. Until you wake up to something completely unexpected. Oh, okay, so the underling is still going at this. Cool, okay. You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Okay, so I guess that's underling path. So... Alright. You are a demon underling in service of the overlord. You aren't particularly strong, but not particularly weak either. That's what your friends tell you. Your job is to guard the castle and keep humans away. It's unbearably boring. Boring. Heroes rarely come all the way here to challenge the Overlord anyway. It's a lot of standing in one place, staring into nothing. You feel like you're gonna go crazy if you don't get a break. You decide to ask the Overlord for a day off. She gives you an earful about responsibility and unquestioning obedience. You wait for her to finish her lecture before returning to your post. What does she know about anything? Who made her the boss of everyone? You complain about the Overlord to your friends. They agree she is kind of a snob and totally deserves to be kicked off her throne. You only wanted to vent your frustrations, but the conversation somehow turned into an assassination plot. You should probably steer this in a responsible direction. Let's not. You tell your friends you were totally not serious about this whole thing. You're actually cool with the status quo. After all, life must be pretty dang good if the only thing you have to complain about is that you live so comfortably there's nothing to do. The others nod, but don't seem convinced. You say a coup d'etat would be more effort than it's worth. A coup d'etat. But you're still going to be a rebel and sneak out of the castle. Your friends praise your mischievous ways. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She seems very frightened and screams for a hero to come save her. You consider your options. Gobble her up! Okay. Tell her to quit yelling. When the maiden realizes you're not going to hurt her, she regains her composure. Now she started talking to you like your friends or something. You don't understand humans at all. You speak the same language, of course, which has always confused you, because why is there conveniently only one language in the world? If demons and humans have independent societies, wouldn't it make sense for them to each have their own language? The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line, from what you gather, is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. The Overlord asks where you found this maiden, knowing full well you left the castle when you weren't supposed to. You apologize for disobeying her, but hope that the maiden is an interesting enough present that you may be forgiven. The Overlord nods and says everything's cool as long as you always listen to her from now on. You're impressed with what an easygoing boss she is. You mention how you can't believe you and your friends even considered overthrowing her. She gives you a look and you say, that was just a joke, of course. Yeah, of course, definitely just a joke. She smiles and dismisses you. You decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're gonna get rid of the current overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, that sounds like a lot of trouble, how about we just skip it instead? Your friends question their loyalty to their cause. Yep, and this is gonna kill us. But let's get that end. She's actually not so bad, you guys. Your friends seem pretty disappointed. They apologize to you. But before you can ask what they're sorry about, one of them suddenly seizes you. Someone who's still loyal to the Overlord really has no place in our castle. You understand, right? Their claws tighten around your neck. You don't bother to struggle. You're outnumbered. You already know how things like this end. This is a pretty messed up thing to do to a friend, you tell them. They slit your throat in response. Faithful underling end. Okay. Let's go the underling again. Alright. Yep. Alright, we have her as tyrant still. Let's not. Let's go gobble up the maiden. I wanna gobble up the maiden. That would be good. Okay. Gobble her up. Maidens aren't the best meal, but you figure you should live up to your demon name and strike back against the humans. You start devouring the maiden without so much of a second thought, and feel quite proud of that. Other humans would surely praise you with curses if they were around to see. Oh man, if only someone could have been watching. Time to find an audience for your evil deeds. You wander into the nearby village. The people are screaming and running away, throwing rocks at you and whatnot. You think that's pretty rude of them. You haven't even done anything yet. You attack the nearest human. He is old and weak, and his bones crunch delightfully. Is this Defi Lala? It's even teal, guys. I think this is Defi Lala. Your audience's screams grow louder. Applause! You think, hey, this is actually pretty fun. I should have taken revenge like this a lot sooner. As you continue your bloodthirsty dance, striking the villagers down, you fail to notice a sword-wielding hero running towards you. He takes you out in one swift blow. You're just a demon underling after all. As you die, you think that was totally worth it. The curtain closes. Performer underling end. Okay. Let's pop off hungry. Let's go be disloyal this time. Okay. Alright. Let's overthrow her. No, you're sick of this overlord holding you and your friends back. You agree it's time for a change of management. Your friends suggest maybe you should be the new overlord. You like the sound of that. You announce your first act of rebellion is to take the day off like you wanted. Your friends aren't very impressed. You assure them you'll talk more about the assassination thing when you get back, which satisfies them. Sneak out of the castle to have some fun. Okay, so we're back here. We're gonna gobble her up again. Let's... Okay. We're gonna change your mind and leave. Alright, you figure if people are this upset at just the sight of you, they won't fully appreciate any terrible acts you commit. Also, they might fight back. That probably wouldn't end well. You're just one little underling after all. This little day out has been adequately refreshing. You return to the castle thinking you'll take a nap. You don't get to sleep long, your friends wake you up. Okay. Very eager to talk to you about the whole kill the overlord plan. You admit you hadn't given it much thought and only just now remembered it was a thing. Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. Alright, Kay, let's kill the overlord. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the overlord, you know how bad it'd be to end up on the wrong side of things. If this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan. That could go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. There'd probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest you play the assassin. You really didn't want it to come down to this, but you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the overlord. Decide. No one has any better ideas. Yeah, I know, they're directionless thugs. It's crazy. You sneak into the overlord's room. She's taking a nap like usual. This is almost too easy. You silently approach your master. She looks so peaceful. You don't want to kill her. You can't go through with it. You turn to leave your room, but you find your friends blocking the exit. In a panicked whisper, you ask them to let you out. This seems to have been their way of testing your loyalty. You tell them this is pretty fucked up and ask again to be let out. The overlord stores in her bed. While your head is turned, the demons shut the door. You scramble into the overlord's closet to hide before she wakes up and sees you. There's nothing you could possibly say to explain this and survive. You're trembling. You can't believe those assholes would bully you like this. You feel like crying. The light flickers at your feet. It doesn't take you long to realize they've set the room on fire. You hear the overlord trying to get the door open to no avail. You're both trapped. Too afraid to move, you resign yourself to your fate. You and the overlord burn together. Cowardly underling ending. Okay. One more time, guys. We're gonna actually kill her this time. And we can go the quick route by just overthrowing her here. Alright. Time for a change of management. Yep, you're the new overlord. You like the sound of that? Alright, we're gonna take the day off. Blah, 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 blah. Gobble her up. Change your mind and leave. Okay, yep, questioning the loyalty, kill the overlord. Let's do it. Yep, okay, stupid plan, they're directionless thugs. You're the assassin now. Okay. Alright, time to die. You figure the cleanest way to do this would be to dig your claws into her throat, so you do just that. She wakes, but not in time to stop you. You watch as she chokes on her blood, cursing you before finally expiring. That felt terrible. You remind yourself it was either her or you, and you weren't about to let yourself be killed by anyone. You leave the room to find your friends waiting just outside. They look pleased. Only now do you realize they must have planned to use you like this from the beginning. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you, as you had betrayed your overlord. Lord Underling. And B. Interesting. Alright, let's not eat the maiden. One more time Underling, guys. We'll get to the maiden soon, I swear. Okay. Maiden. What about turning off Tyrant? Oh, true, we haven't done that. Yeah, okay. We gotta do that too. You're so right. Guess we're not done with the Underling yet. Tell her to quit yelling. Okay, so yeah, we're friends. Well, she thinks we're friends. She wants you to take her to the Overlord. Okay. Yup. Everything's cool as long as you listen to her. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we just go back here. Okay, so we just go back here, so that's the same. So we're gonna just die here, and then we're gonna turn off Tyrant for the Overlord. Alright. Tyrant has been turned off. Okay. She's surprisingly cool with it? Nice, okay. You set out on your adventure outside the castle. Yes, change about future. Nearby village, you encounter Maiden. Alright, let's tell her to quit yelling. Okay. This is all the same so far. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. Okay. Okay, so they're just waking you up again. So that's just the same. Alright. Okay, we're gonna try one more time. And we're gonna gobble up the maiden this time. Gobble her up. Alright. We go to the village. Okay, so this is all the same. Alright. Okay. Let's be the maiden now. Okay. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. Okay. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demon just haven't been given the opportunity? Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your god, asking why you've been why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Meeting a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were just to hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon, just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. It looks pretty scary. Alright. Shout for a hero to come save you. You yell, but a hero does not come. The demon suddenly jumps you and starts biting. A lot. How painful. This plan of yours was completely stupid, you think. Why couldn't you have been more patient? Why did you go looking for trouble? You aren't angry or anything. Of course, this was your fault for trusting a demon not to devour you on sight. This is your punishment for questioning fate, you guess. Bit by bit, you are swallowed by a demon until you are no more. Consumed maiden. Okay. Alright. Church, church, church. Alright. Let's introduce ourselves. Tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them that you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. It turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out, and something awful would happen, then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maiden-like enough. You ask the Overlord to do what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little, you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were raised to believe. As it turns out, she commanded her demons to avoid towns and villages. She didn't want to risk giving the humans any excuse to send a hero out after them. You realize that must be why you've never heard of any demons attacking your town. You express your gratitude to the Overlord on behalf of your village. She says you can thank her by telling the humans to stop raising heroes. She's tired of her servants getting killed off by them. You've always thought demons were violent and unreasonable creatures, but it seems the Overlord could say the same of humans. Chat, is this Yuri? Chat, is this Yuri? Is this Yuri? You may be different, but really they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. But maybe everything I've said was to deceive you and the other humans. What would you do if I turned out to be super evil all along? Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. That's what I've been thinking this whole time, Gradient. Okay, Tamari. Yeah, I've also been thinking it, but, like, I didn't want to, like, say it, you know? You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. Chat, I think this is Yuri. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hasn't led to any horrible consequences. You apologize for causing trouble, but really, didn't anyone read the note you left? Jeez. The hero asks if you will return the village with him to give everyone the news of your safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you give her a little wave as you exit the room. You'll be back soon. You're about halfway back to the village when you feel something is off. Unable to shake your concern, you look back over your shoulder. You stop in your tracks. The castle is engulfed in flames. Is the Overlord alright? You can't return to the village like this. You have to know. You have to be sure everyone is safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. Against your better judgment, you rush into the burning castle to find her. Wow, this is really Yuri. You quickly reach the Overlord's room, but the door is shut tight. The handle is too hot to touch. You're too weak to force it open. You pound your fists against the door helplessly. What were you thinking? This is all because you'd forgotten your role. Only a hero could pull this kind of thing off. Uh-huh, game? Uh-huh. You start to cough. The smoke is too thick. You can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head toward the stairs to save yourself. But the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it outside. You can't help but laugh. What a joke. A maiden saving the Overlord. If you'd just stayed too true to your role, things wouldn't have ended like this. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. Selfless maiden and bee. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Your life has been rather ordinary. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, 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 yes. I love Doom Yuri, and Athena loves this game. Wow, you guys are like made for each other or something. Alright. We're gonna rescue the maiden. We're gonna flee. Because we want to be able to diplomatically do things. Alright. Diplomatically ask if they'll let us in. Alright. Bring me in. Okay, the maiden's here. Alright, the Overlord and Maiden seem to be in the middle of some casual conversation when you barge in. You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. This is no time to hesitate. Alright, we're gonna do this one real quick just to get the end. You lunge forward, driving your blade through the evil Overlord. She screams and falls silent. The Overlord has been slain. You smile, offering the maiden your hand. She takes it after slight hesitation. She must be surprised at how strong you are. You escort the maiden home. She's oddly quiet on the trek back to the village. She must be too shy to speak. The villagers are very pleased with what a good job you've done, slaying the Overlord and saving a hostage. They throw a huge celebration in your name. You are remembered for generations as the greatest hero the village has ever seen. Triumphant hero end. Ooh. We have a new one here now. Alright. Once more we go through. I know, what a hero, guys. What a hero we were. This is so cute, guys. I love this. I love the art. I love the art so much. It's really good. Okay. Overlord and Maiden, yep, casual conversation. Okay. Ask the Maiden what's going on. The Maiden explains that she was never actually captured and that she came here of her own volition. That was a pretty dangerous thing of her to do, but no one got hurt, so at least there's that. You ask her to return to town with you to reassure everyone of her safety. The Overlord allows the two of you to leave, and you casually exit the castle. You try to make conversation with the Maiden, but she's been pretty quiet since leaving the Overlord's room. Is she shy? I bet I could blind speedrun this game. I mean, honestly, yeah, probably. She suddenly stops in her tracks, and you turn your head to ask what the deal is. Oh, the Overlord's castle is engulfed in flames. You can't help but feel relieved you got the Maiden out of there when you did, but she suddenly takes off toward the burning castle. Panic sets in, and you follow to try to stop her. The smoke is so thick, you've already lost sight of her. What is she thinking? It's too dangerous to continue. You feel hopeless. You stand alone at the castle gates. Your body won't allow you to take another step forward. No, going in there would be suicide. You return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The Maiden was claimed by the demons. Dang, okay, so we bystander hero and to be. Let's be the Overlord again. Okay. 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 We're not being a tyrant. We're gonna grant them the day off. We take our nap. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say that she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't recall understanding the question. Oh, no, that was wrong. You don't really understand the question. You think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. Chad, this is Yuri. This is so Yuri. This is so illiterate English major. Hey. This was the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. Let's be antisocial. You'd love to have all the conversation in the world with your friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost, but the maiden turns out to be very stubborn. You don't want to hurt her, but you also really want her to leave in case something bad happens. This whole situation is just asking for trouble, you think. Against your better judgment, you let her hang out for a little while longer. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. She expresses her surprise that demons are not at all what she expected them to be. You are glad that she seems to have an open mind about these kind of things. You also bring up how you always instruct your army to avoid humans as to not agitate them and get heroes sent after you. That explains why the people of my village have been left unharmed. It's because of your orders, isn't it? We're very grateful. You're surprised to hear her thank you. You've always thought of humans to be violent and unreasonable. That's why your servants are always getting killed, despite your efforts to leave them alone. But this maiden is different. You joke that maybe you've been lying to her this whole time, and that you were actually super evil all along. The maiden laughs at that, saying she wouldn't mind being held captive here. The people in her village are a little exhausting at times, she says. You can't tell if she's into you or not. Oh! Chad, did they get to kiss? Did they get to kiss in this game? You're interrupted by another human in your doorway. This time it's a hero. He was apparently searching for the maiden who was rumored to have been captured by your kind. Captured? Not at all. I only wanted to meet with the Overlord. Didn't anyone read the note I left behind? After everything he explained, the hero expresses his relief that this whole misunderstanding hadn't led to any horrible consequences. The maiden apologizes for causing trouble, and the hero asks her to return to the village with him. Confusing feelings well up inside your heart. You're surprised that you had one of those to begin with. You don't want the hero to take this maiden away from you. Ooh. Alright, let's be possessive, guys. Getting mad possessive, you know? The maiden came here to be captured by you, didn't she? You'll grant her wish. You tell the hero you won't let him take her home. Currently at a choir concert, but here to show my support and that I care for all of you. Hi, Cloudy! I hope the concert's good. I hope the concert's great. The maiden assures you she'll be back, but you don't budge. The hero is cautious now. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all. And if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You have no choice. You destroy the hero before he can steal your maiden away. She's frightened. You don't understand why. Didn't she say she prefers this place to her village? Now she doesn't have to leave. You take a step toward the maiden, and she backs herself into a corner. You don't understand. She wanted to stay here with you. The hero was trying to get in the way of that. You had to kill him. You'll be sure to keep this maiden very safe from now on. Selfish Overlord end. Ooh. Okay. You're such a fan. Yeah, you know, we know. This is really good, though. This is fun. Toxic Fury. I prayed for days like this. Okay. Alright. Skimming through. Blah, 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 blah. Give him the day off. Alright, the maiden's here again now. Okay. She's not performing her role, you're talking, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We're gonna let her stay. You can't bring yourself to send this maiden away. She just got here. You enjoy a nice long chat with her, sharing stories about your kind. Okay, we had this before. Yep, we had all this before. Okay. The hero comes. Okay. Alright. Let them go. You're certain that she'll return to spend more time with you. You just have to trust in that, you decide. With the hero and maiden gone, you plop down into the comfort of your luxurious overlord bed. Your room feels so empty now. Is this loneliness? You hope your new friend will be back soon. You close your eyes for a while, until your door slams shut. Before you know it, everything around you is being engulfed by flames. What's going on? You try to escape, but something's blocking the door. You're having trouble forcing it open. What is this? Someone didn't want you getting out. Are you being usurped? They have zero foresight. What castle will they rule if this one burns? You don't want to believe that your underlings have betrayed you, but this is no accident. Those ungrateful bastards. You choke on the thick black smoke from the fire. You can't believe you're being done in by a bunch of cowards. You'll see them in hell. Burned Overlord end. Okay. Let's pop that on. Let's maiden it up again, alright? Alright. Yep, we're praying to our god, being impatient. Okay, we're going to fight a demon. Introduce... What if you play the maiden and the underling assassinates? Ooh, good shout. Okay. I'm guessing that you know what happens with that, Athena, and you're telling me to get something on there. I'll do that one next. Okay. Yep, okay. I only remember the ending. Okay. I mean, it's the obvious evolution. That's true. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He asks you what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? You explain everything that happened. The hero seems to think you're lying to him. He asks if you've been brainwashed by the demons. What nerve? You are very upset that the so-called hero would treat you this way and leave in a huff. You return to the village alone. Everyone is very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord had never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are very loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. He's also racist. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. How could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask. You could not have possibly escaped from the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of things they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake! You don't want to die? You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You've always lived honestly. So why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so, so sorry. Executed maiden end. Dang. Okay. So, turn off obedient. So what was it? Maiden and the underling assassinates. Okay. Alright. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I'm just like clicking through really quickly, guys, but we have been reading this a lot. Okay, refuse to leave. You put your foot down and tell her you're not going anywhere. You still want to fulfill your destiny, even if you have to make it happen on your own. She's a little frustrated at your stubbornness, but she doesn't kick you out or anything. Hooray! The Overlord shares many stories about demons with you, and little by little, you realize they might not be the ruthless monsters you were released to believe. Okay, she commanded her, yes. Express the gratitude. You may be different, but really they're just trying to live their lives the same as you. You feel like you're starting to understand things a lot better. Alright. Even if she were to capture you now, you think this place is far more interesting than the way things are back home. You kind of like not being told to expect demons to come after you all the time. You feel free. Honestly, you've always kept to yourself, but spending time with this Overlord has been very nice. You feel butterflies in your stomach. As you think that, a hero enters the room. You're surprised to see him at first until you realize he must have been sent to retrieve you. Give you your ex to what's going on. You explain the situation. Okay. Really, didn't anyone leave the note you left? Hero asks you to return to the village with him. Okay, you're leaving. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the Overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? Also, we've left the, singular color scheme. We've got hero color scheme and also Overlord color scheme, as well as the purple. The demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle, and the unreliable hero starts to follow shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. You're surprised they were part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she is very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. I'm thinking that must have jinxed it, because now the room is engulfed in flames. Athena, you just gave us an ending where all of them die at once? If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. The path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Dang, okay. Devout maiden end. Okay. Alright. What if dutiful hero? Absolutely. Next. I wanted to see, the underling. Yeah. Consider your options, hear her out. You're in a good mood today and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting, besides you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep for long? Yep, okay. Stepping on you. Planning a whole revolution. Okay. Alright, okay, let's kill the Overlord. Okay. Yes, okay, so they figured they just lock her on fire. Stupid, useless thugs. Okay. They want you to be the assassin. Okay, and here we've got the colors! And we've got more colors. Okay. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. They take off into the castle. Are they headed for the Overlord's room? Fuck. The Overlord would kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and that they were just going along with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. You can't believe they'd tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitor's friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans, and then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish you'd get that chance. The old Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You were forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws through your chest. At least she made it quick. Traitor, underling end. Dude. I want to try Dutiful Hero, but also I kind of want the Overlord's perspective of this end bit, so we're gonna do that first. And then I want the hero's perspective of this end bit. So... Okay. Okay. The maiden's here, yep. Alright. You can skip at the bottom right. Oh, okay. I can't really see that. Honestly, my camera is right in front of that bit, so. You're telling me I haven't needed to click. Oh, wow, I haven't needed to click through all this. Great news, guys. Okay. Look at this. So much faster. Okay. You've almost fallen asleep when the maiden and a hero burst into your room, frantically trying to communicate something to you. You're told that a group of demons is plotting to assassinate you. You're not surprised. How nice of the humans to care, though. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. Interesting! Okay, wait, the underling is like the pink in this perspective, instead of the blue in the last. They're followed by another group of demons crying that everything was the first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting at each other, over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants will let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try to take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you in your place, crush me to the heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure if you have the strength to back it up, though. Lately, all you do is sleep. The group of demons start muttering something about going back to Plan A and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die, burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. Okay, we're gonna take retribution, and then we'll come back and we'll forgive them. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. Ooh, so there's an interfering that it couldn't happen. Okay. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and twisting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord end. Okay. And we're gonna do good old skipping for this one, guys. Alright, and we're gonna forgive them. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Overlord's true end. Ooh, okay. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself? What was the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd shown when you entered this place. What you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, dear guest. Dang, okay. We're gonna get the hero to this fire ending now. Alright, you pause and you see a group of suspicious demons standing near the entrance. They're talking about assassinating their overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. You have to tell her about this. You don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And those same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle. And you have no choice but to follow. Thank God I told you about the skip button. Yeah, on God. It's saving my voice. Lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Okay, so fanfiction? It's just like fanfiction for real. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance, who shifts the blame back to the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them, and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? I guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. And that's the hero's true end. Are you kidding me? Okay. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. It's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... No. Hold on. We're gonna make obedient and then possessive. No, antisocial. Okay. Alright. Flew like a coward. On your way to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back toward the village. She couldn't have come for the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. She can't be trusted. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue. Glad that took care of itself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as the flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. She seemed nice, though, you think. But evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Spectator, hero, and A. Okay. Let's go again. Believe her story. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you, even though her story is kind of hard to believe. You feel like you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They've all been so worried. They praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. Oh, they're looking to the man. Okay. You politely inform them that it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on your way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town's elder voice breaks you out of your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll keep an eye on the maiden until you return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. Oh, you thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. Okay? But you were too late. Through the unguarded gates, you spot a group of demons surrounding a body. The maiden. She was a fool to have trusted those demons after all. Your hero blood is boiling. You'll avenge her death. You charge through the gates to eliminate every demon you see. What the fuck are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero again. Hero end. Okay. Hold on. So I quit yelling. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Ooh, okay. Use the maiden for killing practice. This is just the way it has to be, you declare, before jumping her and clawing her guts out. Turns out you're already an expert at ending lives. Your friends call you a show-off. You go back into the castle to wash off all the icky human blood. As you're finishing up, you hear the sounds of battle outside. A hero has come. Seeing the dead maiden must have made him pretty angry. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. An opening presents itself. You hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? I couldn't tell you this was a duel? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. Can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bound on for you. Live in fear that one day they'll betray you, as you had betrayed your Overlord. So we got that one before. That was the same. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Quit yelling. Kill the Overlord. Toss her in the dungeon. You and your friends seize the maiden, then bring her into the dungeon under the castle. It's empty, save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper, who must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Why give this hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero thinks, prepare to face justice, and other such cliche hero lines before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by the sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. That's why the Overlord and hero worked in battle. Okay. You knock him out, blah blah blah. Carry out the assassination. Okay, so that's the same one again. Alright. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return they lock her up, so demons are truly evil beings after all. They demand you demand they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you and rush into the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What the fuck are you doing killing all my soldiers? Overlord's angry. All the demon kind, collapsing again. Okay. You get knocked out. Okay, same one. Alright, let's Overlord it up. Let them go. Oh, we're still this one. Hold on. Okay. Maiden it is. Introduce yourself. We're back here again. Oh, that was the maiden's true end. Okay. Keep collecting bad endings. We've gotten all of the main, but let's keep collecting bad endings. Let's try. Let's turn off Merciful. Okay. She lectures the underling that brought you here, who was apparently told not to leave their post. You wonder what cruel punishment awaits them. But to your surprise, she lets them off easy. The underling is dismissed, and the Overlord runs to you, looking very interested. You explain why you've come, she squints at you. Okay. That seems the same. Okay, that's the same. Okay. How do I get to the captor ending from the maiden? Actually, we haven't done Dutiful Hero in a while. Let's maiden with Dutiful Hero. You yell, but a hero does not come. Okay. The demon is put off by your son and shouting and asks you to keep it down. You apologize. They seem more confused than hostile, with totally catches off guard. Okay. Okay, but then a hero barges into the room. His clothes are stained by a dark liquid. It's dripping from his weapon, too. You realize it must be demon blood. Something horrible has happened. Confused, the hero asks you what's going on. You explain the situation, reassuring him that you were never in any danger. The Overlord has walked past the hero and out into the hall. She's wailing. You can only guess what kind of horrible scene he's left for her. The Overlord tears the hero apart in retaliation. You watch silently, unable to scream. The Overlord, who you had just been getting right along with so well, has just killed another human right in front of you. It's clear now that you had been deceived by her sweet words. Demons are ruthless monsters after all. You somehow managed to slip past the Overlord and make it out of the blood-soaked castle. You never look back. Escaped Maiden and A. Okay. I'm missing stuff with the maiden. Whatever, man, like he wasn't a worse killer, yeah. Okay, the Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated. Being captured by the Overlord in a horrible way like this was your destiny, after all. But the Overlord stops, or rather, someone has stopped her. Whatever held back your scream before doesn't stop you this time. The Overlord is being ripped to shreds by one of her demon underlings. You think you recognize them, but it's hard to tell with all the blood. Everyone stopped moving now. The room is silent save for the underlings' heavy breathing. You thank them for what they've done, even though it was awful. You feel like you've been rescued from a terrible fate. They look at you, confused for a moment, but then puff out their chest. You should probably go home. This place is dangerous. You follow their advice and make your way out of the castle. You decide never to leave home again for the rest of your life. That's Escape Maiden and B. Okay. Okay, let's do that again, but with the hero this time. Okay, but the Overlord objects to the hero's suggestion. You tell her you plan on returning soon, but she isn't having it. You feel nervous. The hero puts on a brave face for you. If you won't let her go, maybe you demons are evil after all, and if you are, I'll be forced to vanquish you. You leave me no choice. The Overlord suddenly jumps the hero. She stares into him with her claws. You want to cry out, but the scream catches in your throat. You watch because you can't look away. Had she really been lying to you all along? You wonder if this is your punishment for questioning the divine plan. The Overlord approaches you now. You back yourself into a corner. Her expression is complicated, being captured by the Overlord and horrible. Was her destiny? Okay, so the underling still stops her. Okay. So we probably need an underling. I'm gonna hero, though, first. Get him killed by... Okay, yes. Overlord objects to this. The maiden tries to tell her she'll come right back, but the Overlord refuses to hear it. The maiden seems nervous. As a hero, it's your job to mediate situations like these. You tell the Overlord that if she doesn't let the two of you go, you'll have to assume she's evil. You'll be forced to vanquish her. You leave me no choice. The Overlord pauses before suddenly jumping you. You are helpless as she disembowels you with her claws. How horrible. You came all this way, only to be met with this cruel fate. You should have destroyed these evil creatures while you had the chance. Your dying wish is for the maiden to somehow make it out of this alive. Naive hero end. Alright, you sneak up to the Overlord's room, but there's a couple of humans in there. You watch the scene unfold. You aren't sure why, but the Overlord suddenly cuts down the hero. She approaches the maiden you brought to her earlier. With the Overlord distractor, you figure this is distracted. Guys, the antlers are hurting me. I'm taking them off. You figure this is as good a chance as any. You launch a sneak attack, getting her right in the back. She flinches, giving you enough advantage to take her down. You rip the Overlord apart until she stops moving. That was messier than you would have liked. The maiden mutters something from the corner. Thank you for saving me. It wasn't your intention, but it sounds like you did something heroic. You tell the maiden to go home. This place is dangerous. She follows your advice and leaves the castle. Your castle. You are the new Overlord. Heroic underling end. Something sharp pierces your back. The hero? No, he's already... It's one of your underlings. The maiden screams. Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Okay. Let's... Okay, let's try this. From the maiden's perspective. Introduce yourself, blah 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 blah. Obey her. He's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The two of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. Did we do true underling? Oh, that's I don't know. Hold on. I don't know. I don't think we did. You're right, we haven't. We haven't done true underling. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Thank you. I thought I had done all of them. Alright, they had all been so worried and glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them he only ran into you on the way to the castle, and this isn't really his story to tell. You explain to them how you met the Overlord, and that she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other, mean things like that. I'm not sure you did True Maiden. No, I got True Maiden. Yeah, I got True Maiden. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself, just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hush whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous until the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him, because of course, if you're conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let the guard down. The whole village would be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell of this route. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Let's leave on our own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons sends us to the entrance. Talking about assassinating the Overlord, they immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. Slaughtered maiden end. Okay. So, if we make him a captor, we do this again. Alright, leave on our own. Make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. Okay, suspicious. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you up in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell back into your village, only to be tossed into this awful place. This is terrible. Who's going to keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what's happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in the cell. Imprisoned maiden end. Okay. One more time. Except we're gonna grab the hero and run. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Okay, you spy the suspicious demons congregating. You're talking about assassinating the Overlord, you have to warn her. Hero shakes his head. He says that if this is true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. This isn't right, you think. What kind of hero passes up the chance to save a life? Demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off from the castle, and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. Okay, no, wait, we've seen this before, haven't we? Yeah, wait, we've seen all this. This is the end. That was the true end. What are some more things that we should try, guys? Because I'm missing a lot, obviously. Obviously missing a lot. Possessive Overlord? With what else? Heroic or dutiful hero? Let's do heroic. Who should I play as? Okay, we'll try playing as the maiden and then just... Okay. As you think that, a hero enters the room. The hero suddenly dashes toward the Overlord's sword drawn. Okay, here we go. Ooh. You selflessly throw yourself in front of the hero's blade, acting as a shield. It's funny, you think. You never could have imagined this would be the way you die. The roles are all switched around, but it feels right to you somehow. You are glad your destiny turned out to be saving someone rather than being saved yourself. As your vision fades, you hope everything turns out alright for your new friend. Dang. Okay, sacrificial maiden end. I've unlocked all their behaviors now. I got an achievement for that. Do nothing. The hero's blade pierces the Overlord and she lets out a horrible scream. You flinch. The Overlord is slain. The hero smiles and holds out his hand to you, saying it's time to go home. His glove is drenched in blood. Hesitantly, you take his hand. The hero guides you through the castle past the corpses of his enemies. You try to keep your eyes at your feet, but there's blood everywhere. You shut your eyes, but even then you can't escape the smell. All of this was because of you, wasn't it? As you exit the castle, the hero leads you back to the village. Everyone celebrates the hero's great triumph over the demons. You feel sick, but you take part in the festivities regardless. Complacent maiden. Okay, let's make her martyr. And let's do hero version. Oh wait, I need to cut through them. Alright, you find the maiden being held captive by the Overlord, just as you suspected. But for some reason, you can't sense anything sinister happening? You all look at each other in surprise and confusion. There's no time to hesitate. Destroy the Overlord. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She has sacrificed herself to protect this demon. It takes you a moment to recover from the shock. The Overlord wails. Why did you do that? You're not sure if the question is directed at you. The Overlord strikes at you in a vengeful rage. You parry, and she is slain. Your sword feels heavy. You look at your hands, your clothes. Blood. So much blood. You look to the fallen maiden, wondering what to tell the townspeople. Why would she protect the Overlord? She must have been brainwashed by demonic magic. You pick up the Overlord's head, wrapping it in your cape, and begin your long journey back to town. You will say that you were too late, that nothing could be done for the girl, but the Overlord is slain. There will be celebration. Loyal hero end. You notice the sounds of battle have started ringing through your castle halls. The maiden is getting nervous, but you reassure her it's only your underlings roughhousing. No big deal. You know it's probably a hero, but you don't want to upset the maiden by telling her that. Your army will take care of it. It isn't long before the hero bursts into your room. But he shouldn't have made it here. Why did they stop him? The hero just stands there unsure of himself. He is covered in demon blood. As the maiden speaks to him, trying to explain the situation, you move past the hero out the door. You're not thinking clearly. Seeing your servant's blood and Seeing your servants' bodies in pieces all strewn around your castle is really taking it out of you. The hero did this? There's so much blood. Why? Did he come for the maiden? Did he think she needed rescuing? There was no one for this hero to save here. There was never any harm meant to anyone. You were just talking to her. Why has it turned out like this? The maiden shouts something behind you, and you turn just in time to see her throw herself between you and the hero's blade. It pierces her chest, and she falls to the floor, lifeless. As the pool of blood beneath her grows, so does your rage. This hero has taken everyone from you now. You lose control, and the hero is obliterated. But your hatred for the humans has not yet been sated. You go on to destroy them all, become ruler of the entire world. Vengeful Overlord and A. Okay, let's turn off Martyr. Run through again. You feel a sudden sharp pain through your back. You look down to see a blade protruding from your chest. Ah, that was careless of you. So this is how you die, stabbed in the back by some cowardly hero. What a joke. You're supposed to be the ruthless one. That's right, humans can't be trusted. Not if this is what they're capable of. You should have remembered that before letting one in. You watch as the hero takes the maiden's hand, leading her through the sea of corpses he left in his wake. Captured by a demon, at least she got what she came here for. You join your army in eternal slumber. Slain Overlord end. Let's see if this does anything. Okay, no, not for him. Okay, not for her. Okay, not for anybody. What about heroic instead of dutiful? And what else? We're just trying different, and so I kind of want to get them all because that would be cool. Heroic with martyr. Okay. Okay. Let's just run through everybody real quick. Okay, no, we did that one before. True, we haven't done true underling. You're right. Was never in any danger. She hasn't asked why you're covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. The Overlord moves past you and out the door. To see her army in lifeless, bloody piles. She's wailing. It's horrible. This is your chance, hero. Stab the Overlord while you can. You lunge forward to put an end to the evil Overlord, but your blade pierces the maiden instead. She sacrifices herself to press this demon. He's your moment to recover from shock. The Overlord wails. Okay. We did this one, didn't we? So, yeah, we did this one. Let's do that again. So I'll just be a misunderstanding. You'll hope she'll let this whole thing slide if you could just explain yourself, but when you try, but you really try, but the Overlord is inconsolable. She tears you apart and the maiden watches in silence. As you die, you can't help but think you probably deserved this. Tragic hero end. Okay. Alright. After a few hours of sleep, you're rudely awakened by the sounds of battle. You emerge from your room to find out a hero has slaughtered many of your friends and work associates. What a jerk. Avenge your fallen comrades. Who does this guy think he is, coming in here and killing everyone like some kind of maniac? What did we ever do to him? You lunged at him while he's busy driving his sword into the guard that sometimes brought you food whenever they noticed you feeling kind of down. You liked that guard. You wish with all your demon heart for this hero to suffer for his deeds. You bite into him, tearing flesh from bone. It tastes like iron. The hero struggles. You feel his sword go through you, but there is no pain, only retribution. More of your comrades pile onto him as your consciousness fades. The hero is overtaken. Your army has won. You've earned your rest. Victorious underling. Okay. Okay, no. Oops. Tell her quit yelling. Okay, save yourself. Alright, you look around at the lifeless forms of those you've known as far back as you can remember. You feel glad not to be in their shoes. You also feel guilty to be thinking that as you flee the castle, until you remember your role, not as an underling, but as a demon. This kind of thing is expected of you. Maybe you'll start a new life, far away from any humans or demons. Or you'll live peacefully, alone in some deep, dark forest somewhere. Deserter underling? Okay. We need diplomatic. Let's do polite. Obedient. Okay. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying. The hero is silent. You'll all burn together. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 3. Oh? Okay. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. So there's more letters that we're missing. Okay. Okay, no, we did that one. I'm just throwing things at the wall now. No, this game's really cool, Athena. I'm just throwing things at the wall because I don't know how I'm gonna get... I'm missing 3 endings, and also there's 3 letters that I haven't gotten. What does clicking the bad ending sign do? I don't know. We'll try it soon. I want to see if I can get any more endings, though. I don't know what I'm missing, though, so... Interfere in Overlord killing underling as hero? Okay. How can we get to that? As hero interfere. Okay. Yes. I do remember that one. I don't know how to get to it. Turn off possessive. Same except everyone burns except non-merciful Overlord. Tyrant true ending. Alright. Okay. She thrusts her claws into her underling's chest and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith like a time like this. You envy her. The 2 of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by flames. Resigned, hero, end. Oh, we got a letter. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 1. My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this. It's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow. So I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then, maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. Okay, so that... we didn't save... We didn't save them, though. Let's try turning on Coward. See if that... No. Okay, so that isn't a thing, I guess, or something. Let me try you again. Oops, I was meant to do try it. Whatever. Here we go. Okay, wait. We did these both, though, I think. Oh, okay, wait, new thing. You thought you had told that underling to do their job, not direct strangers into your room. Looks like they took an unauthorized breakaway from the castle. You scold them, but ultimately you're a little interested in this guest, so you let them off easy. That underling's not so bad. Okay. Okay, no, we did both of those. Okay. What we ever do to him? How do we get to that ending with the hero? Oh wait, no, I did this. I just did that one. Oops. She explains it came here on her own. It was never in danger. She has to get covered in blood. You don't know how to respond. Okay. Okay, no, we did all those. Maybe slaughter the creatures is the first choice. Cut through them all. Destroy the Overlord. That just ends. Okay, hold on. Cut through them all, but talk. No, we did that one too. We haven't gobbled her up in a while. No, that just leads us here. What if you cut through them but talk to the guards? You're so dumb. What? Okay. We tried that before, though. It just, yeah. How am I dumb? What am I dumb about? What? How am I being dumb, Corvid? Come on, hit me with it. If I'm dumb. If I'm dumb, help me not be dumb. Oh, I forgot I had gobbling on. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. He's covered in demon blood. You were frightened by the sight of him and run away. You returned to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. So I did 1,000 questions and you tell him your story. As you explained, the Overlord never had any intention to harm anyone. You noticed the looks of uncertainty. Okay. Okay, no, we had this one before. Oops. Obey her. Same way. Let's try it not obeying her. Okay. What if you obey her but hero perspective? Okay. Dutiful. She runs for you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. Oh, he's so nonchalant. Okay. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the main you saw earlier? Found a wooden stake, crowds in a frenzy. Flames, must have been done some. Okay, no, we did this one. Spectator Hero and B, but what's Spectator Hero A? Do I have that one? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do. Corvid never told me how I was being dumb. I'm missing 2 endings and 2 letters. Be possessive. Feel much stronger now. Okay. No, because being dutiful. So let's not be dutiful. Go back to bed. You don't get to rest for very long. He tests out your throat. Okay. That's the fire. Trusting hero, antisocial overlord, disloyal underling. Okay. Trusting. Play maiden. Okay. Disloyal underling, antisocial. Do we want to obey her? Or do we want to refuse? Obey? Resolute? Probably, because we've done this one before, I know. Maybe grab? Yeah. Okay, no, that's just the normal. That's just the fire. Let's find out what happens if we hit bad end. Okay, so we're missing a maiden and an overlord. It's a true end. Okay, so let's see. Okay, guys. Maiden begins her story. Maiden meets the overlord. Maiden stays with the overlord for a little while. Hero is diplomatic. Overlord is antisocial. Hold on, wait, I'm gonna write these down. Okay. Hero, diplomatic. Overlord. Antisocial. Stay. Alright. Overlord, possessive. Okay. And then that should lead us to the last one. Okay. Diplomatic, antisocial, Possessive. Oops. Keep doing that. It's because I can't really see the button. Okay, refuse to leave. She vows to keep you very safe from now on. You're afraid to find out what that means, but there's no one left to save you. You belong to the Overlord now. Capture maiden in a day. That was such a simple one, guys. Okay. A letter flutters down from behind the curtain. You found lost letter 2. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. Yes, that's right. I opened up my very own theater. You'd be so proud. If you could only see it, I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side at opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it, wherever you are. Forever yours, Tragedy. And then the next letter is them talking about nobody staying to experience every tale in its entirety. Okay, so we're about to experience every tale in its entirety, though. Okay. Alright, Overlord. Overlord lets the underling day off. Alright. Maiden stay. And then we want hero dutiful. And then that should lead to the end. That's so simple. Alright, give him the day off. Let her stay for a while. The hero starts babbling insincere apologies and excuses, realizing his wrongdoing, but you are far beyond hearing that kind of bullshit. You have had it with these humans always murdering your servants for no reason. You can no longer hold yourself back and lash out at the hero. When you regain control, there's nothing left of the hero. The maiden has fled in terror. You are alone. Wrathful Overlord end. Okay, guys, that's all of them. That's all of the ends. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter number 4. My love, do you remember when we first met? I had just finished one of my scripts. One I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should those poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications. And yet, you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day. Even now, I wonder if somewhere you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. Okay. That was everything. What happens now? Oh, wait. Congratulations! You've explored every path I had to offer. Thanks for playing. What is this? It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the past you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them all from getting killed in the end? If there's nothing you can do by acting from within their story, maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Ooh. Oh! You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp everyone to safety. You didn't know you could do that, but what's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, the maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? I've come to save you. You explain to the group that you've witnessed their many terrible intertwining fates, and now you're searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them. Only the maiden understands your compassion. My prayers have been answered. You must be her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. That's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story? How passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. Oh, okay. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater, though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. I'm sick of all these bad endings. Then frankly, you should never have come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the only way to see a better ending. It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. You try your best to tear me down, but you can't seem to do any damage. You don't truly exist in this world, after all. Oh, is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. Hey, let me try that again. Try your best to tear me down. Okay. Oh! Behold my beautifully tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache. You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I command your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Okay, you find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? You explain that no, you're not a demon. How can you explain it in a way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. You remember the state of your body and decide that, yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He is overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I could make a living as a tailor rather than a hero? Please, tell me what I can do to reach that dream. The hero now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived! We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. You're the one who's been killing us. Murderer! I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Ooh. I think I need the rest of the characters. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained to the torches on the walls. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. I'm like out of water, chat. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I have no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. You realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change your fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will now fight alongside you. I see, so this is tragedy. Ah, you brought the Overlord. I don't stand a chance now. You prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die. Ha 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 ha! I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. I want to summon them, but like, eventually the HP's gonna be done. Also, the HP being the amount of stories is really good. Your reign of terror ends here, Tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Ooh. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. Tragedy's really okay. Let's call in the maiden. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing. She approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are, in a sense. You've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon? I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She is the catalyst of the story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown tired of waiting. You remember this part. She wanted to understand her role better, and so you ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by your question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If there's something I can do to help find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will not fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. And then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy's thrilling. Okay. Let's get in the little guy. You approach the gates of the Overlord Castle. The underling is on guard duty, as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? You explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell the underling that you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. You think of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they get better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underling suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. So there's a way that even work can be fun? Sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will not fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle? The underling, You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally. Huh, if I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over. Oh, but it won't be that easy. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Hahaha, now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me. Knock me down, I'll just come back stronger. The underling uses the capacity to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone's hearts united, you take aim towards your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. I'm literally a genius. What can I say? What can I say? I got that first try. I got that combination first try, guys. You've done it. You've managed to defeat me. A tragic ending for tragedy itself. I love it. I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Thank you, maiden. Thank you, underling. Thank you, Overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Don't worry, I'll be making my exit shortly. Finally, thank you, most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. Well, I did my best. Happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. Oh. Aw, wait, look at him, guys. Look at him. He's so cutesy. He's a tailor. Ooh. Aww. She took her girlfriend to beat the town. They're so cute. Look at the Yuri, guys. Look at them. Non-tragic Yuri? Let's go! Okay. Me too, Tamari. I love Yuri. Let's go, Yuri. Man, now I feel bad for hitting no, I'm not satisfied. You're not done yet? What? We're sitting in the credits. What do you mean we're not done? Okay. Your true end. Something's missing. Oh, you're still here. The curtain has closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell, after all. There is one more. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing... I should have warned you, this might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me, necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear, not another ending, but the truth? Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons, or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone, another girl. Haha. A running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable. For a time, everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all. Where the strength of your love will pull you through any hardship and everything is okay in the end. I lost her. And then I started this theater. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you! It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You knew I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Aww. Now truly, everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. Aww. And it's closed now, because it's done. Literally, I remembered from this game was all the Yuri. That's so fair, Athena. Oh, guys, that was so cute. That was really cute. Good second day of Graymas. Not second. Today was the third day. Wow. Good third day of Graymas. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Oh. That was pretty peak. That was pretty peak. I liked that a lot. That was good. Okay. Chat, I hope you had a very Yuri-ful stream. I will see you guys all tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is checking my own stream schedule. Tomorrow is Apex Legends with Aki. Apex with Aki tomorrow, guys. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As of right now, it might change. It hopefully won't, but it might. So, I will see you guys all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch me play Apex Legends for the first time since 2020, when I played it once with my brother and then never played it again. Alright. I'll see you guys tomorrow, chat. Bye!